The Qur'an itself does not talk about how it was formed. Thus we read in the Sahih al-Bukhari, a transmission that is recognized by the majority of Sunnite Muslims worldwide. In the Islamic tradition, the first formation of the Qur'an is credited to Muhammad's follower, Abu Bakr. A contemporary of Muhammad reports this. His name is Zayd. Abu Bakr instructs Zayd to put together the various parts of the Qur'an. And so I began to search for the Qur'an. I put together what was written on palm leaves, pieces of leather, broken fragments, and what I learned from the hearts of people. He did find the ending part of Surah 9, but he does not remember where he found it. The manuscript was kept with Abu Bakr. So, we can say that. Firstly, various parts of the Qur'an still need to be searched for. By the way, it is not clear whether they have all been found, because many people with great knowledge of the Qur'an had died in fights earlier on. Secondly, Muhammad was not alive anymore when the Qur'an was formed. Islamic scholars assume that the Qur'an was not formed by Abu Bakr, but instead later by Uthman. After Muhammad's death, there was a politically unsafe situation, with disagreements amongst Muhammad's potential successors. Here, the fight between Shi'as and Sunnites began. Fearing that different versions of the Qur'an could lead to conflicts within the Islamic community, the third Caliph Uthman collected Qur'an's materials from various parts of the community. From this Qur'an materials, Uthman formed his own version of the Qur'an. Thus, Islamic scholars attribute the formation of the Qur'an to the third Caliph, Uthman, and not to Abu Bakr. Uthman ordered the burning of the collected manuscripts of the Qur'an. The questions posed to the Gospel can now also be asked here to the Qur'an. Firstly, were the right versions of the Qur'an perhaps not adopted by the Islamic community? Secondly, to what extent did mistakes enter the other parts of the Qur'an? Did some Muslims forget passages or willingly change texts? Thirdly, who guarantees that Uthman had the correct version of the Qur'an? Shouldn't it be called the Qur'an according to Uthman rather than simply the Qur'an? Let's also keep in mind that there are also several questions regarding the formation of the Qur'an that cannot be answered.